Christmas always brings fun. It brings entertainment and it brings family, but it also brings lots of conflict. If you've been feeling like you've had a conflict or a problem going on, a little anger, today's the day we're going to work that out. So welcome, come on in. Today is a step 4 day in Sagittarius, which means that with Chiron going direct, it means an anger or a frustration with an old story, an old person is coming to an end today. So welcome, come on in and put down, give me one comment for how you feel today. And also hit the like button and send this off to a couple friends here. If you could do that, please. We have the algorithm going from the previous class and it's not actually firing out. So if you can hit that button down there, send it out to 10 people or so. I'd really appreciate it. Just hit a bunch of people, hit the button, and then forward it out to people. Looking forward to Breathwork with Breath Messiah. Glad Christmas is over. So put some sentiments in there. What are you feeling? Optimistic? Great. What are you feeling today? What does this day look like? Frequent episodes of short dizziness, heaviness in the head. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Well, how to cure that? That's easy. Tune into Breath Messiah here. We will do breath work in a minute. Full moon energy today. Yes. Good. Denise helped you out there. If you guys can do me a favor, can you hit that button down there? Send it out to your friend, your relative, send it to your partner, your spouse. It helps the algorithm go. This up here is running a little low because we were running an event before and it's not notifying everybody. Feeling great, but hate the pressure of the holidays. Yes, I get that. Broken patella. Been home for the last week. I would do the barefoot sprinter routine number 2 if I had a broken patella. And I would do the lower reset the best you can. You can do it seated. Okay, whoa, this is a slow start. So welcoming up Isaiah, Breath Messiah, intense full moon. Anyone else feeling it? Yes, sparkle butterfly. Hey.
What's up, Gary?
Isaiah, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Fantastic. How was how's your Christmas?
It was well. It was chill. Super chill.
Super chill. Do you do anything or do you just sit back?
Just sit back, ate some good food, but no, this was definitely needed. I slept, had a couple naps, but yeah, this was probably the most recharging Christmas that I've ever had. Wasn't stressed, wasn't, all the the family dramas. I just stayed at home with my girlfriend and just chill. So
I think a lot of people did that this year. I mean, we definitely moved away from the norm. I think next year we're just going to celebrate solstice, and Christmas is imbued with a lot of people that don't manage their emotions for the years. They get back with their family, and the first thing they do is they let out all of those emotions.
yeah,
All the narratives, all the issues,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I was gonna ask you, so do you think part of that's astrological, or do you think it's really just like suppressed, energetic family dynamic stories, all of
I
that?
It's actually both, and I'm just going to change this here. It's actually both. It's second here. It has to do with the astrology today, and the astrology here is different than it's ever been. We are going through we're going through a time in which the world is changed. Everybody in the world has changed who they are. They are feeling the energy of this change, but the problem is that they have habits of the past. So a lot of times people right now are feeling disconnected. They don't feel like they relate to the people around them or the situations. And sorry, they're trying to move into this new story. And then they have people treating them as the old story. So they're just running habits. And that's why it feels so junky this year. And the astrology, the whole world is changing right now. We are thrust into the greatest stage of change that the world has ever seen. and we don't have anything in recorded history like this. So it's going to be rough for people for the next 5.5 to 6 weeks personally, and then it's going to get really sticky in social situations in their family social groups for 3 months. And then the world is going to come into play. And we're breaking down today. We're in Capricorn, so we're breaking down control. And especially over this weekend, yesterday, this last couple of days, Aries has been coming up in our Chiron. What it's been doing, like right now, is saying old problems, old fights, old arguments, old angers are coming to an end today.
That's interesting. It's so interesting because everybody knows the holiday season and what it brings, but I don't think a lot of people understand the astrology of it. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm being affected, but what's affecting me? How do like why like
Right.
so it's like astrology gives you like a microscope, you know, or not even a microscope. Um it's just like you can see the finer details and you have a choice. Are you going to react or are you going to observe and witness, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. I mean, there was a comment in the group that you and I are in, and somebody was going off with somebody else and projecting and stuff like that. Now, had they read the Serious Joy app the night before, they would have saw that Serious Joy was saying, "Hey, you're going to be triggered, so you might want to do
Yeah.
something different." And they even said why they're going to be triggered. So like we can choose to be completely victim of our world and reacting to all these emotions that come up, or we can start to look at astrology, use apps like that, plan ahead, have people around us that say, hey, if I'm projecting, or if I'm talking off, or if I'm feeling angry, something, say something to me, to let me know, so I can do something different.
Yeah. So it's awareness at the end of the day, you know what I mean? If we're choosing to be aware and to dive into our like you said, our personal story, everybody has an opportunity to rewrite their personal story, who they thought they were, who they are. It's a personal responsibility, you know. And I think I was going to ask you, what would you recommend beyond, let's say somebody's doing the 28-day reset. They're, on serious joy. They're passionate about a career, but they're like, but still what else do I need to do? What would you say to that?
Get more reflections, like get into the group sessions,
Yeah.
because if you're still looking for what to do, it's because you don't have enough reflections. Because
Mm-hmm.
eventually I see somebody do something and go, oh, that was me, or I can relate to that, or I want to be like that. What happens is that because of the way that we're organized in society today, is that when we have problems, we shelter. And that's actually the opposite of what we should do. If we go into community, we have the ability to reflect and see other people's energy or other people handling situations.
Yeah.
But if we, and it's just, we've been trained that when we feel bad, go to your room, go to your house. And
Isolation. Yeah.
it's the opposite. It's like, put yourself out there, walk out, have a discussion, share, or if you're not ready to do that, observe other people, be quiet.
Yeah. It's interesting because I don't think as humans we understand the importance of community yet because we haven't had to truly rely on a community or a group of people long term. You know what I
Well,
mean?
we don't anymore. Like, it's
Uh,
been trained out of us. Like, I'm old enough. I mean, you're what, 30 years old?
28, yeah.
28. Okay. So I'm I'm almost twice your age. And I'm old enough now to remember the end of what community looked like. When I grew up, I could go to anybody in the neighborhood's house and eat if I was there. The mothers would have no problem with disciplining me, and I got lots of it. Like, it's like, Gary, get your little ass over here. We are going to have a talk, young man.
Yeah.
And that was part of it, is that we were raised in the community. So we learned to have respect for the community. We were taught the rules of engagement. And now there's no book that tells you how to engage in community. So we go to all these gurus, we read all these books, we go to all these programs, but the people teaching them don't live in community themselves either. So they're just trying to teach from here.
So
Somebody said
interesting.
community ended in the 70s, and they're right. As I said, I caught the last glimpse of it in the
Yeah.
70s. That was 50 years ago. So um, what we've been doing in Lions Bay, in the Human Garage community, in Lions Bay, in the Lifestyle Artist community, and then the communities that we live in. Lifestyle Artist community is a preparation to live in community again, because what we do is we state our values, and one of them is to express how I feel in real time. Like if I'm angry at you, or if I'm angry, and, and not even at you, if I'm angry and I walk into a room, you can feel it. If I don't express that I'm angry in some way, shape, or form and let you know that I'm dealing with something, when you interact with me, you walk away and go, did I do something wrong?
Mm,
Did I, is it my problem? And then I do that to 10 people, they all go off and do the same
yeah.
thing. That's not fair to them.
Yeah.
And and so what we know expressing in real time when people come in to stay with us, it can be a little shocking at first because expressing in real time, and then there's is uncomfortable because you're going to say, like the saying for a lot of people saying, like I'm actually feeling sad right now, and I just wanted you to know that for people to say that it pushes them or to be honorable in all relationships and to be called on that. You're around a bunch of very intuitive people who can literally read your energy,
Yeah.
so you're not hiding. It's like being exposed.
Yeah.
And and um uh and just show up as your best self. So like there are days that I'm not great, but if I have to be in community, if I have to do something, I show up as my best self. Which, because if I'm not feeling good and I'm sad, if I go in and working with the people, I'm just sad. I'm sad. It's my, then that's the cop out. I'm going to show up as my best self, but I'm going to let you know. And just because I'm sad or angry and I have to do, and I'm engaged in doing something, doesn't mean that I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And so we set our values up. Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you pull up the values on the phone? Buddy? Do you have it on yours? So they're on our website. So I'll pull them up. And I'm gonna I'll actually just run them through because it's actually a really really good question. And and um, the the simple thing is that we started implementing these in our community. We've been doing this for 4 years, and a value is a value when you never meet it, and you also know it's a value when you can use it when something goes wrong. So the very first one is to communicate in real time. Like if you got a problem, you got a situation, you're not going to show up, you can't do something. Like if we're working together and you don't tell
Hmm.
me that you got an issue, even if you're coming to dinner, we're waiting for you. I mean, then people are waiting. It's just not respectful.
Yep.
Here's one that I work on, okay, and I'm getting better at it every single day. Listen to understand. Then create wow experiences, like experiences that drive you, that if I'm creating experience, if I'm working on something, I do my best. I'm not going to do something mediocre or half-ass. Be flexible and adaptable. And being flexible and being adaptable, it's super powerful. If I'm not flexible, things change moment to moment, and especially in today's world right now. Be caring and compassionate. Be honorable in all relationships. And now we also work together. So when somebody has to be disciplined or even let go, like this isn't working out. One of the things that I get this all the time from somebody who's angry or something. It's like, you're supposed to be honorable in all relationships, and I am. I said we're a team of people here. If I'm not honorable, if I have to be honorable to all of those relationships, and if you're disrupting us over and over again, you have all your opportunities. Then we have to sit down and have a talk. If you can't work this out, then my honor to everybody else and the commitment that we're doing means that you're going to have to go.
Yeah.
Always look for a better way,
Mm,
which which sometimes comes out as criticism. If I'm angry or I'm sad or I'm frustrated or I'm stressed out and you're expressing a better way, I might interpret that as a critique. But if, in the spirit of it, all of us are looking to help each other in a better way. And then have fun. Those are simple, right?
Yeah.
Hey, can you be there? Can you send that to me? Something got changed. So yeah, so the idea is that values are measuring sticks. They're not absolutes. And you can't say we do this in this community because eventually that rule will fail. We have a value that teaches people to make judgments. And we used to know how to work in a community, but what we did is when a kid was born into a community, over time, because they go and they talk to people, they do things, they make all these little mistakes, but they learn the values of the community. So quite often values are not stated. So when someone new comes in, that's when we start to integrate our societies. Someone new comes in, they don't understand that value. If they don't understand the value, they don't know how to act against it. And that's where a lot of dysfunction happens. So by being clear against the values and then asking people to be to measure or to check me against those values.
Yeah. That's the mirroring too, and that's the whole point of community too, because now you're saying, look, this is the standard or the container that we're setting, right? If I'm not reflecting these, please let me know so I can, come back to myself and improve, be my best self, be honorable, be caring, all these things. So it's interesting because if you ask an average person walking down the street, what are your values? It'd be like, why are you asking me that? Like, who are you? Like, you know what I mean? It'd almost be like, it'd be off-putting in a way. Like if a random person asks, what are your values? And you've never thought about it, you'd be like, who, because
You know,
it's
I'm willing to bet you if we brought everybody that was on this chat up and we asked them, I'd be willing to bet you that most people couldn't repeat one or two. And if you can't repeat a value, then it's not a value. And if you can't repeat it, you can't measure or measure yourself against it.
yeah,
So this is where one of the things is create space. Um, to be honorable in relationships, one of the ways to do that is to create space in between action and reaction. Like, so in our group, our private group, somebody started teaching, and I mean, you're in a group of grandmasters. Not a smart idea to start teaching, by the way. And then, but the person on the other end took that as, which again, shouldn't have been teaching, but the other person took that as a criticism of complaining or whatever. And what I said is that what I do when I feel my emotions come up is I create space. I do a fascial maneuver. I do breath, which we're going to do.
yeah,
Because if I do some breath work, if I do something from a breath perspective, and I can calm myself down, now I'm present. But and people say it triggered, I don't like to use the word triggered. Triggers are not triggers, they're clues to pay attention. Because if somebody else is making me mad, then they own me. They control me. They control my emotions. And I don't want anybody to control my emotions.
yeah,
They can take those emotions out anytime and then pounce on me.
yeah, yeah. I was thinking yesterday. I think it was yesterday. The essence of this life is really to understand and to harness our own emotions, because in that process we learn if we're in control of our responses, our reactions, our feelings, what like no advertisement, no thing outside of us is going to make us jump or go towards something based on an emotion.
Right.
You know, like, oh, you need this beauty because you don't feel like you love yourself. Do you not feel like you're pretty enough? Well, if you didn't feel like that, you wouldn't be like, oh, I need that. And that's a lot of marketing is fear-based tactics.
Yeah.
And if we realized, I'm learning to love myself in whatever situation, I have the ability. I have the capability to go down the journey. So
Yeah. So, that gets back to expressing myself in real time. If I'm feeling triggered or blowing up, it's because somewhere along the line I didn't express.
mm,
See that's where, like if someone's like all of a sudden angry at something, it's because there was no expression of something that happened earlier that led to another value or misinterpretation of something and led to another one. And part of the context, at least in our communities, we're all here to support each other. We're all here to learn from each other. So by doing that, the one thing is that if I put that learning hat on, then I have space and time, because maybe I'm learning to take space, or maybe I'm learning that I do this sometimes by watching somebody else.
Yeah. And it's a lot easier to learn from somebody else if you're watching it, because it's like you're not actually the doer. I'm watching somebody do a habit that I do, and you're like, dang, like, and then you're like, I understand that because I know I do that. You know what I mean? And that's where I can see the importance of community, not, all these people saying, "Hey, this is how you run a community, this is how you do it." And then now you're by yourself watching these videos, you know what I mean? Or versus, I'm sure a 1 day retreat is like eye-opening to see the amount of mini micro reflections happening all different ways. It's like, it's like a cosmic jumbo,
So we're starting the 28-day reset as a group now. So you can go to we have a brand new app. Like everything is changing in a really good way. So if you haven't signed up yet, go to our website. You can sign up into the new app. There's a 28-day reset that's going to start. It's going to start on January 1st. Everybody goes through it at the same time. We do the 1, the 3, the 7. Then there's a brand new one. It's shortened down. It's condensed. No more hour videos. It's like 15-minute videos here and there. It has different classes to do with modifications and explanations and all that. And what happens is that every day now of the week, you can go to a support group for a class in the 28-day reset. So when you're in there,
that's
there's a group to talk stuff out, and there's a group to move with. And this way people have that community online, so they can start to get used to it before they start interacting in the world, because then they take a little piece of that and interact in their lives. And then they come to an event, and then they see it in an event. Then they come to a retreat. They go through the Lifestyle Artist program. Then they can come for a retreat. And then they get to see it for like a 3, 4, or 7 days, where they come to one of our properties. And it helps people integrate with what community looks like again.
That's super cool. Because it's like here's the appetizer, slowly start eating on your own. Now, okay, here's your first course, here's your salad, here's your, you know what I mean? Here's your salad and breadsticks.
Yeah.
And then here comes, the first course meal. Is it, whatever that is. And then it's like you gave them an actual path where they can actually practice and learn these different things in real time.
Yeah.
Not here, do this, express emotions, but now you actually have an opportunity to express emotions in that time with these people that are going through the same thing. So,
And then, here's another one that we got. When we say in real time, there's also a little bit of discretion that goes with that. Because what happens is, this is a funny one, where somebody had a disagreement with the way I was going to approach and work with somebody in our community, in our team, and actually said it to me live while it's happening and everybody else is around. And I'm like, do you think that, first of all, they weren't correct? There was their interpretation.
yeah.
And I'm like, do you think it would have been more appropriate to have said that later on? And which is, again, it's one of those gradient things, right? Because express in real time doesn't mean stand up in the middle of a meeting and yell, like, this isn't right. No, it's like, hey, these are the granular things that people get a chance to interact with when you practice, because it's not about it's about practicing in the community. It's about getting in and learning, what does it feel like, getting on a couple of calls, saying something to somebody and realize, oh, geez, I was projecting, and being okay with it.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Be okay with our own lacks and limitations and shortcomings that also need stating. You know what I mean? I don't think that's something that's own your mistakes. I don't think that's something being,
no. Well, it's because mistakes are frowned upon in the rest of the world. So a mistake is something I don't want to own, because if I carry it, I'm going to be judged.
uh,
But It's like my dad, when I started skiing at 3 years old, he said, I like, Dad, I had no snow in my suit. And he says, well, it's because you weren't trying hard enough. You didn't fall. So what he's saying in a nice way is, hey, if you don't fall, you're not growing, you're not changing, not learning,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. That's awesome.
So let's get into some breath work and let's show everybody
How to
what
change.
happens. What do you do when you feel like when you get a clue, not a trigger, when you get a clue to look out in your world and your emotions are up, what do we do with breath?
Cool. So the first thing that we're going to focus on today is just very simple postures. So the first one, however you're standing, all you're going to do when you inhale is just pull your shoulders back. So imagine wherever you're standing, when you inhale, you're inhaling, pulling those shoulders back. When you exhale, you're trying to let go. You're trying to let it go down. Okay? So imagine, the way I like to imagine is like you have a backpack on, you have to take the backpack off, then you have to let it go.
Yeah.
Okay? So when you're inhaling, you're just pulling your shoulder blades back. When you exhale, you're dropping the backpack off of you. Okay?
Am I
And then,
inhaling through my
yep,
nose or my mouth?
in through the nose, out through the mouth.
Okay.
Okay? We're going to do 9 of them. So inhale, pull those shoulders back. Exhale, let it go. Yep, stand up taller. Inhale, shoulders back. Let it go. Yep, stand up taller and down.
You do this? Okay.
Yep. Shoulders back and let it down. Stand up taller. Shoulders down. Shoulders back and down. Last 2, shoulders back and down. Last 1 and down. And just move your shoulders. Comment anything you feel, any differences you noticed.
Feel really okay. Why did you choose 9 breaths out of curiosity?
So today I just think that there's like residue. So what I noticed is the first 3 to 4, I noticed I could like open up, but then as I kept doing it, it literally felt like I was like an eagle learning to fly, you know?
Because 9 today, Aries stations at Chiron and 16 degrees, which is, sorry, 15 degrees, which is to bring balance. And Aries is step 9. It's about action and anger. So
I'll be
that's why I'm
completely
asking.
transparent. Everything is intuitive. When I pick the number, it's however I'm feeling.
Okay, that's
You know what I mean? Like,
cool. Yeah, it means you're in the flow.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
because
I've never been like 6 months.
Chiron's our wound.
Okay. So yeah. So that's how I pick my numbers. So universal codes coming through me choosing whatever number that is. So
Yeah.
okay. So the next one we're gonna do, you're just gonna look straight up, and then now every time that you inhale, you're trying to let your body relax. When you exhale, you're trying to push your chin and your forehead to the sky. So it's inhale, relax, exhale, push your chin and your head to the sky. 6 breaths. Here we go. Inhale and exhale, extend. Inhale, nice and relaxed. Exhale, reach higher. Relaxed. And reach taller. 3 more. Inhale, relaxed. Reach taller. Last 2. Reach tall. Last 1. And reach tall. And then come back to neutral. Move your head, move your neck a little bit, move your shoulders.
Wow, that almost counterintuitive because I wanted to inhale up, and that forced the change in my lower spine, my
Yeah.
sacral.
Yeah. I was doing that one yesterday, and I felt like it literally was like a pop, like in my spine.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, okay. So now, right after that one, we're gonna just stand straight up. Now, this time when you inhale, you're gonna try to imagine a turtle coming out of your shell. So try to pull your shoulders and your traps down and reach tall, and then exhale, relax. Okay. So imagine a turtle. You're coming out of your shell. You're growing tall. Just 6 breaths. Here we go. Inhale tall. Relax. Every breath, actively push those shoulders down and release. Stand up taller, reach that head to the sky and release. 3 more. Release. Tall. Release. Last one. And release. Now just move your neck, your shoulders.
Oh, that feels really good. Good. Again, it's so subtle, and it feels like really, really good, like posturally.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the next one, we're going to try to do our best to look all the way over your left shoulder and try to look as far over without compromising. So basically what it looks like is try to be as fluid as possible. Once you reach the point, like don't overdo it. So just go as far as you can. You're going to inhale all the way. Once you get to that side, you're going to inhale. Then you're going to exhale all the way over other side.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Okay. So we're doing 6. Inhale all the way here. Exhale all the way here. We're going to do 6 going that way, 6 going the other way. Then we'll talk. Here we go. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the right. Every breath, just make it easier. Good job. 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. Good
What?
job. Now we're going to
Wow.
inhale.
Oh, sorry, you mean the other one,
No,
right?
you're good.
Okay.
So now we're going to do that same thing, but now before we start, we're going to just pull our shoulders back. Same exact thing. Now we're inhaling from the right, exhaling to the left.
Okay.
And exhale to the left. Three more. Stand up taller. Roll those shoulders back. Last 2. Float away. Best one. And release. And just walk around. Move your neck. Move your shoulders. See how you feel.
This is the third time we've done this, and each time I feel, for such little work, I'm shocked. I feel high,
Yeah.
and it doesn't feel like I'm doing much.
Yeah. So what's the biggest note? So what I can notice is like my shoulders before felt like I was literally wearing a backpack. Now it feels like I let go of the backpack, and it's almost like I was hiking for a couple hours. I had a backpack on, and now it feels like I literally took off the backpack, and now it's like, where's the weight? Like the weight that was there. I feel taller. My neck, my head. I was sweating the entire time.
Yeah, I feel so I noticed that this simple practice is removing restriction here, which affects the way that the lungs, because if the lungs only go here, that's part of it. They have to go here. They have to breathe out and up. So I noticed that it's affecting my lungs in a very, very positive way.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else.
Hold on one second. I get. I left my phone. I didn't put it on Do Not Disturb, and it's going. Zzz, zzz.
Yeah. It's all good. All right, cool. So we'll do 3 more, and then we'll do a check-in.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one, we're gonna put both of our hands right here, like center of our chest. And what we're gonna do is that same routine where we're taking off a backpack. Now imagine we're Superman. So when we inhale, we're just spreading our chest apart. When we exhale, we're pushing it all the way down into the ground. Okay, so it's inhale here, and we're exhaling, being taller. Yep, same thing. Just open up that heart. You're Superman. Push it away. Open up that chest. Open up that heart. Blow it away. 3 more. Blow it all the way. That's 2. Blow it away. And the last one, take your time, open it up, and blow it all away.
Cynthia says that's the breast breathing exercise.
That's the best breathing exercise?
That's the breast breathing exercise ever.
That's true.
There we go.
She says she'll have fond memories of that one later on.
Cool. So let me think. We got 2 more. What's 2?
That's an oldie but a goodie.
Yep. So you tell me, what would you want right now? Like, what kind of breath? Where in your body? What tension? Like, you know what I mean? Cynthia too. It's open for you too.
It feels like the solar plexus. It feels like the solar plexus could use a little opening for me.
All right, cool.
Same here.
Same. Okay. All right. So what we're gonna do? All right. So what we're gonna do? So I want you to put both your hands right there.
Yeah.
And what you're gonna do when you inhale, you're gonna pull those shoulders back, and you're gonna like squeeze. So imagine like constriction. We're gonna create constriction.
Yeah.
When we exhale, we're gonna let go with a sigh. Okay. So just really imagine you're trying to like pull it apart, and then when we exhale, we're just letting it all fall out.
Okay.
Here we go. We're going to do 6 of them. So every breath, try to open it up more. Inhale through your nose. And let go. More. Open it up. Release. Good job. Keep going. Release. Last 3. Stand up tall. Let go. That's 2. Open it up. That's 1. And release.
Oh yeah. That feels great.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah, it's simple because you know it mimics the fascial maneuver, which is a heart opener.
Mhm.
and the soloplex opener, where we just pull the skin apart. And you're doing a fascial opener there anyways by moving slowly with the fascia.
Yeah. So I'll say this quick, then we'll do one more. By doing fascia maneuvers twice a day for the last 25 days, it's taught me so much about chi, about energy, about feel like why am I not letting myself feel?
Yeah.
And now I mean, it's subconscious, but everything is chi. So like how, you know what I mean? It's like I'm tapping in with fascia maneuvers, with chi, with breath, and combining it into a art in a play.
Yeah, you know what? Breath is, in Hebrew and in Sanskrit, breath, in a lot of languages actually translates into life.
Yeah.
So breath is life.
Yeah.
Movement is life, because breath is the origin of all movement.
Yeah. So this is why any person listening, please do the 28-day reset. It will change your life. It will make you feel completely different. You're going to be like, I didn't know I could feel like this. So if you're seeing this, start now, January 1st. Please look at the website and please do it. Please. It's only going to help you. So we'll do one more and we'll finish. We'll finish with this. So you said you used to be a bodybuilder, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Been
cool.
my
So we're gonna do
whole
double
life like that.
bicep. So we're gonna bring it back to your past. We're gonna do double bicep. When you inhale, you're gonna be right here. When you exhale, you're just gonna let go. Okay. So just let it drop. Let it all like imagine all this strength, all this power that's in your cells, in your DNA, and then when you let go, you're just like letting it melt.
Okay.
Okay. 6 breaths. Then we'll finish with that. Here we go. 6. Inhale, squeeze, really big, really tall, and let it go. Good. Whenever you're ready, really power up, breathe and squeeze. Nice and tall, and let it go. Good job. Stand up taller, be bigger. Let it go. Good. Last 3, nice and strong. Let it go. Best 2, nice and tall. Let it go. Last one, best one, full of strength. And release. Now put your hands on your hips and just 3 breaths, standing as tall as you can. Imagine a tree. And blow it away. 2 more. Release. Last one, best one. Whenever you're ready, shake it out, pat yourself on the back, tell yourself, great job, you did it.
Good job, Gary. Like Jason says, he says, good job, Jason. And he does that throughout the day. It's bizarre if you go around and 10 times throughout the day when you do something, good job, Gary. And you say that to yourself. Try it.
Yeah.
Try it.
Good job, Isaiah.
Gary. Good job. You did a really good job here today. Congratulations. And it gives you oxytocin.
Yeah.
It feels it like it's like a tinkling in the body.
You feel like a little kid, like you're like, you know what I mean? Like, good job cleaning up. Like, it could be like, but now, why not tell yourself good job for breathing? Why not? Like, are you going to be hurt? Is anybody going to be, you know? So it's, we don't tell ourselves that enough and we don't hear it enough. So if you telling yourself, you're going to be able to recognize, hey, Gary, good job, you know? So it's very simple, but so effective. How many? I got one more. I got one more.
Okay, one more. Let's do it.
So who's all there? I want to do it. Is Cynthia next to you?
Yeah, Cynthia's here.
Okay, so what we're gonna do? We're gonna do the laughing one. Okay. I don't know if I've done this one live. It might be a little different, but it's gonna be 3 breaths. When you inhale, you're gonna inhale nice and big. When you exhale, you're going to exhale with a laugh. Laughing's contagious. Laughing creates oxytocin.
Yeah.
So all we're going to do is we're going to inhale, think of big and as full as you can. Okay? Might feel weird. That's okay. So there's 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale, laugh. Here we go. Inhale together. Exhale, laugh. 2 more. Here we go. Inhale. Laugh it out. One more. Okay, now shake it out a little bit. So what are you laughing about?
Yeah. Ooh, I got the oxytocin going. We gotta do that more often. I got goosebumps.
Yeah, that's fun.
So yeah, so that's one of the, every time I do that one, people love it. We don't laugh enough. Laughing is very invigorating, very freeing. So
You know, it was funny because I didn't understand this when I first got into doing like heavy processing trauma work, working with Navy SEALs and stuff like that. So when you do their jaw and you release their jaw, they do one of two things. They either punch you or they'll laugh for like 20 or 30 minutes out loud. And it took me a while. First of all, it's funny because you're in a clinic and all of a sudden somebody starts laughing for 20 minutes uncontrollably and they're just and everybody starts laughing. It's contagious.
yeah,
And the reason for it is laughter releases oxytocin, as we just experienced, which is the strongest resolution for the emotion of trauma, fear, anger, whatever, especially fear. And so that's why when I had um, my stepson Mikal, he he would laugh when he got in trouble, and I used to get so angry at him laughing when he get in trouble. It's like, why are you laughing? And I don't know why I'm laughing. He'd get called into the principal's office for
for
getting in trouble,
laughing.
and he'd start laughing, and they would like literally punish him for laughing, and it's because he was so fearful that the laughter was actually curing his fear, and he couldn't. And it took me. I didn't even know this until I got into clinical practice.
That's interesting. It's so interesting because that's essentially what the class clown is doing. They're really feeling fear or something, so this is their coping mechanism
Yeah.
to, you know what I mean? That's interesting.
Somebody said that they felt the transition into crying right after laughing, and that's actually a good point because when the oxytocin releases, that's a lot of sadness that it's covering. So if the sadness, so all the emotions are rooted in fear. At the core of us, I'll explain the way I see it. Okay. Now there's a lot of different views of this. My experience is based upon the human body. So at the core of us, we have 3 states of our brain. The animal state of our brain, which is hormonal, reactive, which is fight or flight generally, has 2, and it's the animal part. It's the lizard brain, whatever you want to call it. Has 2 emotions, desire and fear, not love. Love is a decision, it's an articulation. An animal either desires to be with you or fears not being with you. And when somebody's operating on that brain state and they're in a relationship, I desire you, but now I'm angry or frustrated or I don't want to be around you. I fear you. That's literally the lowest state of awareness. And then what's less than fear, but an articulation, like say anger is less than fear, right? But anger, like fear, my entire body locks up. Anger, I'm kind of locked up, but
Not
not.
much.
Yeah, so that's an articulation that's resolved in the midbrain, the limbic region. As that sensation passes, if the midbrain is healthy, then I can actually, instead of fear, it could be anger. And if the midbrain is healthy, then it goes to the front brain, which is our neocortex and the way we perceive. And then I can be just frustrated instead of angry. So when someone has laughter, we go right to the core, the fear, and we abate the fear response in our body. So the next thing that comes up, she was saying, was sadness. So that means that the fear response was abated with a chemical of oxytocin, and the next one is sadness or anger or frustration, or it could even be a feeling of shame or guilt. But that's going to be in there, and that's an articulation.
Yeah. It's like everything is a process, right? You plant a seed in the ground, it grows through itself. It doesn't just you plant the seed, now it's a tree.
Yeah.
So it's just it what that's bringing up for me is the progression of emotional release.
Well,
The
that's
progression
what
of
it is. It comes from, because like we have this energy around us. It's called an entropic field or an aura.
yeah.
And it's actually technically not around us. There's a ball of energy that's a human experience, and at the center of it is the part that we identify as us. We don't necessarily identify with that field. And
Yeah.
I don't own that field. That field owns me.
Yeah.
That field wants something. It controls me. There's no doubt about it. I'm
Yeah.
not controlling that field. That field is the ultimate energy that we're here.
Yeah.
And then from that field, the fascia uses the field as interpretation, as perception. Because if I perceive that something's going to hurt me, then I automatically go to fear. But if I perceive it's not going to hurt me, I can look at it. Like if a car backfires, but I don't have any fear. I don't have any programs to fear.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, what's that noise? But if I have programs of fear, I'm like, duck.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so the idea is as we innately have that root response, which comes from the earth, from the ground, to protect us, because we need protection at our root, fear or desire. Then it goes into the emotional state. And then if I'm strong enough in my perception or my fascia, if I'm out of stress, I can move from there into my perceptual state and go, that's interesting. I just had a response in my body that felt like it was anger. I wonder where that came from.
Yeah.
And that's how we regulate emotions. But as we were saying earlier, if I don't express myself in real time, I get all these little emotions that are built up, stacked on top of each other. Then I come to an event or a family dinner, and then somebody says something, and it's like, poof.
Yeah. 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 I had a revelation as you were just telling that whole thing. It's like the movement part is getting beyond the fear and the desire, right?
Yes.
Now the breath is helping you take the fear and desire through the emotional part. And then now through that emotional part, expression, release, whatever, now I'm becoming aware of this neocortex, all possibilities. And it's like, yeah, I just saw like a torus field like going like this, but you have to
Yes.
stay in
To torch.
yeah.
Yeah, because
That was
here's the human psychology of that. Movement is life. If I can't move, I can't breathe. If I can't breathe, I no longer have life. So the thing is in freeze, fight or flight or freeze, I stop moving. But if I move, then the body triggers a response that I'm okay.
yeah.
But if I stay, so I can overpower fight or flight with movement. That's why when I have a response, I go do a fascial maneuver, a movement.
Yeah.
And if I do a movement right away, then you said, then I can start, okay, there's an emotion there. I can identify with the emotion. And if it's just fear, I'm back in that fight or flight. But if I can identify, well, that's actually started as fear, but it feels like sadness. Then that's the perceptional part of me that's talking. And that all happens when our fascia is open. So if we have pollution in our fascia, in other words, our fascia is the crystal that connects us with that field. It's a signal, like you have a crystal in your cell phone. So if the fascia is open, then I can actually interpret from the field that it's okay. The flow of energy goes from the ground through the midbrain to the perceptual brain into the field openly, and then the field can go, oh, interpret it, perceive it.
Yeah.
But if it's blocked anywhere, it doesn't have anywhere to go. It stays in the body, and now I have to get it out.
Yeah. Powerful.
It is. You know, and this is why breath work is so important. It's the one thing that everybody wants to do a treatment. They want to take a drug. They want to go to a practitioner.
Yeah.
But getting somebody to do breath work, it's like, oh, it's breath work. No,
Yeah.
I want a drug. I want it. I'm like,
Yeah.
that drug is getting the hormones in your body, but that's what breath does.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me ask you this, because this came up when doing fascia maneuvers as well. Fascia is essentially the Earth's mycelium. So
Yes.
mycelium and fascia are essentially, and when you do fascia maneuvers, you're more aware and in tune of the Earth's natural mycelium network within yourself, and because now the connection is the stronger, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll show you an example of that. Let's take your brain state right now. Let's do totally twisted to the right. So I'm going to take my right foot and my right hand. I'm going to put it over. So right foot over, right hand underneath, left hand on top. I'm going to turn my head to the left, and I'm going to squeeze my spine and squeeze my sex organs, my spinal pelvic block, and turn my body to the right. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in 6 times through the nose. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to slowly turn my body to the left and my head to the right, squeezing my spine. 6 more breaths. Breathe in through the nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, come back to center. Now, what do you notice different in your state right now?
I would describe it as if I was wearing a hat, and now the hat and like even my hands, I can feel like more awareness, like more conscious awareness here. My eyes, my head feel like I literally was wearing like a hood or a hat, and it got like taken off. I
So
feel
this is a
here.
really good reflection because we just did breath work and we all felt calm. So the reason why is, like you said, the mycelium. A DNA strand goes, that is totally twisted. So when we wrap our body in the same shape, a fetal position, that a DNA strand is, then what we do is our signaling connects with the same way that our Earth is architected, because our DNA is the Earth and the Earth is us.
Yeah.
So what happens is our signals, our processors are in full adaptation mode. And what you said, I feel like a hat came off because all of our portals start opening to it.
Yeah.
And so if people go watch, if you want to do this, go in the 28-day reset, we explain this, but if you, especially the new one, but if you go into fascia magnified 25 times on YouTube, and you look at it, you'll see the mesh network of fascia. And what you'll see is layers moving like this and things going different directions, which is the layers of fascia, which we don't see when we do an autopsy on a body, when we cut into it. So this is our philosophy of fascia. And then in addition to that, you'll see water droplets going up and down, and it moves pressure around our body at the speed of light.
Yeah. My last question for you: do you ever pinch yourself and be like, "Is this real?" Like, because I know, like, and because when I heard your story about why Human Garage is called Human Garage, like, I didn't know why it was called Human Garage. And hearing that story, I literally was like, I saw, like people just come into healing in the garage, and they're like, "Bro, this is the best thing." Like, You know, so like now, obviously, fast forward, here we are. Do you like, you know what I mean? Because it's a clearly a revolution of just continuous discovery. You know what I mean? And it's like the simplicity. It's really not that complex. You know?
It's super simple. There's 5 basic laws of fascia.
Yeah.
And when we adhere to the 5 laws of fascia, it's super simple. But when I started, I was just trying to heal myself. I was in pain.
Yeah.
And so it was like a insane driving. I knew that something big was here, but it wasn't until I thought I was doing fascia work. Like a lot of myofascial therapists out there, they go, no, I do myofascial therapy. I'm like, I don't know. I just, like we were the best in the world at myofascial therapy, literally at the clinic. That's why people flew from all over the world to
Yeah.
see us. It's not myofascial work. This is engaging the innate intelligence of the body in a belief mechanism. So I believe that my body can heal and engaging it. So when I think about it, people ask me all the time. I don't think about it separate from me.
Mm,
This is my purpose, and my understanding and bringing in of my purpose
yeah.
is what Human Garage is. And I
Yeah.
don't separate myself from that. That's why I don't buy things for myself anymore. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to buy a house or protect myself. I'm like, this is what I'm doing. This is my life. It's not what I'm doing, it's my life. And I'm just sharing
Yeah.
my life with people. So
It's super inspiring to, you know what I mean, to witness and to be part of, because it's changed my life, you know. And that's the same with me. It's like that's why I care about breathwork, is it's a personal, you know, it's a
journey.
personal mission that's worked. And now it's like if it's worked for me, let me see if it will work for you. And if it, you know what I mean? And it has to work. You know what I mean? It's just about where, when, how, you know, fitting it, not even fitting it in. It's living a life based on movement and breath. That's why we're here.
We Life is movement. The original movement is breath. So when we can't move, we have fear. And that is a physical and a metaphorical statement.
Yeah.
And the method of movement is through emotion, energy and motion, because we are energy. And when I am observing my energy, I am I am I'm in function with my movement. If I'm in the energy, which is okay to be sometimes, it's okay to be really excited. It's okay to be really sad sometimes. But it's okay to be really angry or even have a little rage once in a while.
Yeah.
Those are all okay.
Yeah.
And but when I live in them and I identify with them and I make them meet, that's where the problem is. Like I say to people, we're in a mountain here. So there's a raging river just down the road. And it's like standing on the side of it, or Shannon Falls, it's like beautiful. But if I'm in that thing and I'm getting bashed around the rocks, it's horrible. So our emotions are like the water in that
Uh,
waterfall in the river.
you got to be able to observe it, take yourself out of it to observe it, witness its beauty without being in the midst of getting thrown around with the, yeah.
And here's another one too, that the entire universe, the entire human experience, the entire realm that we live in, whether you call it a globe or a flat earth, we're in a realm, whatever you want to call it. So this entire thing is constantly moving. Everything that even the solid, that mountain is moving, it's vibrating. So if I'm vibrating with anybody else and everybody else and I'm moving with them, it's easy to lose myself. An example is this: if you're in an ocean and you're floating on a boat and you don't have, and it's cloudy out, you have no idea actually if you're slightly moving like 1 or 2 knots. You don't know. You look up and it's like, whoa, what happened? But if I have a point of reference, I can see it. So if I don't have a point of reference, I'm moving and I don't even know I'm moving. Okay. So what fascial maneuvers is, it's stopping the movement external and creating internal movement. So I now have a point of reference. And if
Yeah.
I do that, then I know where I am in the world that I am. I'm observing now. But if I'm moving and I'm running and I'm doing a task, I'm not in observance.
You're creative. That's so interesting.
Yeah, outside movement stops with a fascial maneuver. So
Yeah. And
inside
that's why it's such
movement,
an
so it's like the crust of this earth
yeah.
here stops. Now, the magma inside of me, all the fascia is still moving, but now I have movement on the outside, movement in the fascia on the inside, and the outside, the shell around me stops. So now I can feel that movement contrast and I know where I am.
Yeah. I would even say this. The reason why I love fascia maneuvers is because it literally feels like an internal transformation. Like it's challenging, it's hard. I won't even say it's challenging or hard. It's you're feeling you're feeling discomfort at times. And then afterwards, it's like a firework of new, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like energy. And you're like, oh my gosh. And then you're standing there in like feeling the like all these fractals. You're feeling the fractals and you're experiencing it real time.
So
And it's
everything about the human experience and energy,
yeah.
our body knows how much energy it takes to move through a day. And it knows that based on every 3 minutes of movement, every 3 days, every 3 hours of my day, and every 3 days of my month. And it keeps monitoring those and basing the amount of energy that I let out based upon that. And then over 28 days, if I reduce my energy output for 28 days, my body then relieves me and then says, oh, I have more energy. So when I have an increase in energy, it's not technically an increase of energy. It's a reduction, it's a letting go of the energy that's already stored. Because what happens is our body wants to save it because it knows it needs it for all these other functions.
Yeah.
So if I take away a restriction in my life, my perception is I have more
Ah,
energy. But the reason why the perception of more energy is because, like when we're fasted, when I'm fasted, I have no food in me and I've been going 15 to 20 days.
yeah.
I have energy constantly. If I eat,
Phew.
80%
Yeah.
of my energy.
Yeah.
So now my body's trying to figure out how to use all that 80% I have to use to process. So I only got that 20% left. That's why things like intermittent fasting are so
Yeah.
powerful.
So powerful. And then intermittent fasting, breath work, fascia maneuvers, you're in a whole different realm of existence. Like, yeah. You because what I noticed when I do all the things that I know I need to do, I'm like I'm on cruise control. Like it's like so easy. It's like literally going down a river and the river is pushing you where you want it to go. Like
Yeah.
I'm here for the ride. So
Yeah. Well, it's been a great session today.
yeah,
Appreciate you
thank
so
you.
much. This was fantastic. Great conversation about it too. I appreciate that you're doing the maneuvers daily, and I like this twice a day. Twice a day for 28 days changes your freaking life. Because it's the way the stress cycles in the body work. And if you as your day you build up stress, you take it down, you build it up, you take it down. So if you don't, you go all the way up here, then you have to take it down. Your body has too far to go to get the recovery. So I tell people this too, take a fascial maneuver you like
Yeah.
anti-gravity. And if you're doing it twice a day, do an anti-gravity an extra 2 times a day, just
Yeah.
one movement. Just do it, like when you get up out of a chair,
Yeah.
or like for moms, every time the kid yells your name, mom, do an anti-gravity.
Yeah.
And then if you do that, what happens is over time, your stress cycle never peaks. Now your body, if your stress cycle goes all the way up here, your body goes, I need all that energy potentially. And then, so it never returns it. But if it only goes up here, the gap way up here, it keeps and gives it back to you at the end of the 28 days.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you get this rush of energy and consciousness.
Yeah. We have the solutions. They're right here for you. You just gotta, come and get it. That's awesome. There we go.
Good finish. Thank you, Isaiah.
Peace.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Fantastic session with Breath Messiah. If you guys haven't followed Breath Messiah, please follow Breath Messiah. And let's go and talk about Went a little bit over time here, but we are bringing up Chris Kidowski. I need that anti-gravity big time. Yes, anti-gravity for autistic son. There we go. Chris Kidowski, how
What's
you
up,
doing,
buddy?
man?
Good, man. How are you? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. You look fresh.
Yeah, I am, man. I am. It's been about 4 days without body work, so I'm pretty fresh, man. Ready to go.
You've been going through a Taurus transition, I see here over the last little while.
Yeah, I have, man. Kind of ping pong and like back and forth, back and forth. But I had my call with Chris Witecki. What was that? Last Tuesday, I believe. And he provided so much clarity, man. It's exactly what I needed to hear. Um, I've never before in my life ever questioned like where do I go from here, but it wasn't fun, you know. And it's not like I was in a bad place or like a dark place or depressed or anything like that. But when you get to the point that you and I are at in our careers, you transitioned obviously after Human Garage to now being primarily fascia maneuvers on Instagram, not really touching people that much, and getting to that point where I'm like, man, you know, like I kind of want to hang it up and do something else. But then talking to Chris, there was a little bit more understanding behind what I was feeling and why I was feeling it. And it's really just external things that need to play out. You know, they just need to play out rather than me trying to push so hard and make it happen. I just need to kind of chill, relax, go on cruise control for a minute, and let other things catch up to where I'm at. And he said probably sometime around June of next year, he's like, dude, you're going to be so happy and things are going to be so great in your life that you'll be beyond the moon. So,
June
you know, it's just,
21st. June 21st.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's good to hear
because
somebody.
June 20th is the close of a big cycle for you.
Yeah, yeah, that's what he said. Before we get into the nutrition stuff, I wanted to tell you about this a long time ago. Sometime in the end of October, I have a retired lieutenant colonel in the Marines that I've been working with for probably over a year and a half now. And the guy's had so many injuries, man. He showed me one of the guys in his company made a meme of him and showed like all the injuries that he's had over his lifetime and in the Marines. And I mean, it was something like 30 or 35 injuries. So he has like PTSD and a whole bunch of other stuff, lot of problems fascially and everything like that. One of the biggest ones is he gets wicked migraines, and the VA had prescribed him some, you know, the strongest medication that
Yeah,
they could.
usually, all that stuff causes dehydration and contraction of the fascia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he felt one coming on, and he reached for the meds. It didn't work. And then he did something else that they told him to do. And then he tried another thing. I can't remember what it is. He tried three different things. And then he said that this little voice crept into his head of me talking about how anti-gravity will release pressure around the brain stem and the C1 and the C2, all that stuff. And he said that he went down, he did anti-gravity 3 times in a row, and the migraine just completely eroded and went away. So, you know, these things, we can sit here and work with people that are semi-healthy, or maybe somebody's just like, yeah, you know, every once in a while I get a tension headache. No, this is a guy that's been to war for 30 years, okay? PTSD. I mean, I think he had something like 6 concussions,
Yeah,
okay? And he gets the nastiest migraines where he'll throw up, pass out, you know, and wake up an hour later and not even realize what happened. He got down into anti-gravity 3 straight times with the decompression, the breath work, you know, just tuning into his body, relieve that pressure, and everything reset, you know. So that to
that's
me
awesome.
was probably one of the more powerful stories I heard about fascial maneuvers in you know, in the last year or so. Just because I saw you doing the maneuvers with a guy previous. Um, yeah, you know, he may have problems going on in his body, but not like the lieutenant colonel. You
Yeah,
know, so
if he's open to it, put him in touch with me. I'd love to talk to him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Great
Yeah,
guy.
the primary thing that I'm noticing, okay, speaking of nutrition, is that I have this a lot with a lot of health coaches, doctors, a lot of naturopath doctors, a lot of people right now that are still having problems in their body. And right now, the chemical intrusion with barium, strontium, aluminum, PAFs, and glyphosate is depleting their body's silica, and then the heavy metals that have been part of the medical procedures
Yeah.
are disrupting the fascial network. But the silica right now is literally people that I have people that are doing everything right, Chris. They are some of the most educated people in the world on nutrition and health. And by dosing them up with diatomaceous earth and silica, their issues start to go away very fast. And I
Sure.
keep on.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, and we have this coming out on our new platform. If you haven't done it yet, go sign up now. Go on our website and you can sign up for the new app.
Okay.
In our platform, we have a parents group coming in, and we have got parents that have been working with kids that are on the spectrum, can't move, got cancers, got autism, and they're using these protocols, and the kids are coming off the spectrum. They're doing it.
Sure.
No practitioners involved.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. He won't talk to the VA anymore. He won't go to the doctors anymore. I put him on a couple of very basic supplements, things to balance him out and whatnot. And he's pretty fed up. And like I said, I mean, this is a guy, like, he retired 30 years, lieutenant colonel, just an absolute warrior, bought in, like, he is the core,
Yeah.
at that point. When you're 30 years in, he is the core. And he's just beside himself. He was so frustrated, heard me on a podcast, reach out to me. His mom lives in Coral Springs, which is about 20 minutes from here. So
Yeah.
he's like, when I come down to visit her, can I come and see you? Like, he was almost like afraid to ask.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you guys are my most coveted client because you're out there putting your life on the line. And, like, it's an honor for me, of course, man. Come in, come on.
Yeah. 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 I worked with the Seals Family Foundation and Rangers and stuff like that. So I have a lot of respect for that, and thank you for helping them. So have them contact me. To the one other thing I wanted to say is, and I like to get this point across: the brain itself has no pain. So if I have pain in here, it's because the dura mater or there's contraction, and the only thing that can contract on there, it's the only thing it can be is pressure or contraction of the fascia.
Of
And
course.
and this is what people they miss, and this is why the work that you do, the fascial maneuvers and stuff like that, that's why it works. But
Absolutely.
the big one right now is nutrition.
Yep.
People are coming into the new year, they think they know about nutrition, or they have no knowledge of nutrition. And I'm noticing that people have a sense of what to do, but they don't know how to apply it.
Right. Yeah, 100%. So everything that we're going to learn in the free class tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit unique, and it's going to be a lot more unexpected than people are probably prepared for, because what we're going to do is we're going to get into the philosophy of food and how we got where we are today, and how literally every commercial, every campaign, every bit of processed food has been made to either work against you or to fool you. Okay. And we're going to learn the history behind that. And then I'm going to do two things. I am going to dispel the myth that a calorie is not a calorie. And I'm going to dispel the myth that the body works by the first law of thermodynamics, which is the conservation of energy. Okay. And those, when those two, think about like a Jenga tower, you just pulled out like four of the main blocks on the bottom of the tower, and everything that people think they knew about nutrition, like, I mean, you can go to a supermarket, you could go to a retail clothes store right now, and if you're talking about nutrition, somebody will chime in and be like, hey, my friend had the same thing that you did, and that this is what they did. They went on a carnivore diet for 30 days. Oh, my friend had the same thing. They took prebiotics and it just went away.
Yeah.
Okay. And it just becomes the same thing as exercise, where everybody is an expert. But how come 70-80% of people in the United States, they're either metabolically ill or overweight, right? So it doesn't make any sense when everybody is an expert at this stuff, but 70 to 80% of the entire nation, and I mean, we could even characterize that in the world, they're not looking the part, and then if they're looking the part, they're not feeling the part,
Yeah.
right? One of those two, and you go to the doctor, and maybe you're not even overweight, but doc, man, I have no energy. I'm having a difficult time sleeping. I have lunch and then I want to go to bed. I don't know what's wrong with me, right? Or hey, I've had this extra 50, 60 pounds on me. I've gone on 3, 4 different diets. I'm on the roller coaster. I lose it, I gain it back again. I lose it, I gain it back again. Okay? And what we'll find out in the advanced nutrition course is that fascia plays a massive role in permanent weight loss. Okay? Nobody else, as far as I know, has uncovered anything like this. Okay? And it gives more credence to not only the fascial maneuvers, but also the pressure work that I like to do with the balls and the foam rollers and things like that. So all I ask people to do when they show up to the class tomorrow is just erase everything you think you know about nutrition, because what you are going to learn is what is mechanistically true in the body, not something that you read in Shape magazine, not something that CNN or NBC said. I love it when, whoops, almost dropped you. I love it when I see some like NBC, like I don't know who he works for, like Matt Lauer putting on a publication on TV saying, oh, 20 minutes of walking every day has shown to decrease cardiovascular symptoms and, comorbidities by 30 or 40%. So you should exercise by walking. Walking is not exercise, it's movement. If you're out there power walking or hiking up a trail or something like that, like going from 2,000 feet to 5,000 feet, that's exercise. But if you're walking on a flat street, like this, for 20 minutes, your heart rate's not getting up, you're not sweating. I don't really consider that to be exercise. It's just movement. It's like going from one chair to another, or a chair to your couch in your house. Did I just exercise because I moved places? I don't think so, right? So we need to understand what is mechanistically true in the human body. And it really starts with, number one, how we were fooled into believing what we believe today.
Yeah.
And then also why what we base off of what we believe is completely inaccurate. It's
Mm-hmm.
completely inaccurate. And we can prove this through physics, which is almost as ironclad as we know. Okay, you throw something up, it comes back down. Um, you can't refute gravity. You cannot refute the laws of thermodynamics, and these have been tested, tried and true, over and over. Since they've been founded. Okay, so when we start to break down and look at the actual science of what things are going on, it's not. I don't have some hidden agenda behind supplements that I'm trying to sell you or something like that. And it's just it is what it is. It's science. Take it or leave it. You can sit there and deny it if you want, but there's going to be thousands and thousands of studies that are going to tell you otherwise, and they don't just apply to food.
Yeah. So what we're going to be doing here is that we have a free introductory course tomorrow. The free introductory course is if you are a nutritionist you're going to learn something. If you're brand new, you're going to learn something. We're going to be breaking down the common myths of
Yep.
dieting, the common myths of calorie consumption, the common myths of weight loss and weight gain. We're going to be talking about why we got into this position. We're going to be talking about what the food industry has done to us, so people have a baseline of understanding. And then this program itself, if you are a beginner or you're advanced, you're going to get value out of it, and it's free of charge tomorrow night. That is also leading up to a 12-week program that you're going to be hosting with a syllabus that people can go through, and
Yep.
they'll come out. And if you're a nutritionist, I recommend that you do this, because you're going to see the difference between what you learn at school and what you learn after 20 years. You're a published author, you work with people at the highest level in the world. You're one of the best practitioners on the planet, and you're going to be helping people get through these ideas and these concepts and break down the myths. And we're doing that starting all tomorrow night.
Exactly. So you look at what Gary and I do with the body when it comes to fascia or muscle tissue or nerve or
Mhm.
whatever. We take the toughest cases and we bring people back into balance so they move pain free. What I've been doing ever since 2005, it's like I stumbled upon nutrition and fascial work all at the same time. What I've been doing since 2005, I started off just helping people lose a little bit of weight, and now I've been in the thick of it where people come to me and they're metabolically ill. Okay, one of the more famous cases right now, I think his name is Gary Bracca or something like that. He
Yeah.
helped out. He helped out Dana White. He had 10 years to live. They were saying, and you look at him and he's all inflamed and he was on a CPAP. He was throwing up every night, trying to sleep. I mean, there's some of the stories he told were terrible. You put him on some homocysteine clearing supplements, and then you put him on a 3-day water fast, and the body heals itself. Okay, so what people don't understand is that food is medicine, and they've heard before, too much of the wrong type of medicine, you're not going to feel too good, right? Ask anybody that's been on prescription pill. They put you on another one for those side effects, and then they put you on another one, and it's just like you eat the wrong type of food, and what does it lead you to? Eating another wrong type of food. And what does that lead you to? Eating another wrong type of food. And before you know it, you are metabolically ill, you have celiac disease, you have lupus, you're insulin resistant, and the minute you don't have any type of food in your system, you're hangry or you're shaking or you're dizzy. There's going to be a lot that we're going to talk about from a metabolic perspective, okay? And we're going to learn how when we use food as medicine, the body heals itself very, very easily. And you're going to return to the type of movement that you're always supposed to. You're going to return to the type of energy you're supposed to always have. You're going to return to the ability of either being able to take a nap or sprint a mile at a moment's notice. And that's the health of the body. You should be able to go extreme sympathetic or extreme parasympathetic at any moment if you're balanced, right? But there are
Yeah.
people where it's the middle of the day and they want to sleep, and there are people where it's the end of the day and they can't fall asleep. They're wide awake, right? And a lot of this has to do with the imbalances of not only food, but then artificial energy sources and whatnot. I'm also going to, at the end of the presentation tomorrow, I'm going to be showing everybody the back office of what they're going to be getting. Okay. And basically, for the beginner nutrition course, I am breaking down every single week that we are doing. I'm breaking it down into bite-sized pieces. So you can watch 5 videos leading up to the class that we're going to do on Wednesday. And you're going to be able to consume most of the information prior to coming to the class. And if you can't make it to the class, you're obviously going to get a recording. Okay. And you can listen to me then teach it, but you're going to be able to follow along with or without, and you're going to be able to do it before or do it after or whatever. Or if it's, hey, that I didn't need these other 2 parts to listen to, but I really wanted to catch this part, you can sit down and, press play and listen to an 11-minute video rather than going through the whole hour and a half that we're going to be talking. All in all, there's something like, think there's over 200 videos. There's a solid over 200 videos. So I don't want people to be overwhelmed. I want them to start at 0, and then you kind of go like point 0.5, and then 1, and then 1.5, and now I'm catching on, so I go to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, like that, because this is, like you said, man, I mean, this is 18, 19, 20 years of in the trenches, real world nutrition knowledge that I have been not just experimenting with, but also really refining and realizing what works and when. And there's no cookie cutter for every one person. Everybody that's coming in, the program that you're purchasing, you're going to be with me for the rest of my life. As long as I'm doing this, you're always going to be able to pop into the Kajabi course, ask questions, and anytime we hit a roadblock, for the most part, I know the answer of where we need to pivot and what we need to do going forward, or moving on to next. So I'm really excited for the people that are going to be on. If anybody's been through my other 4 pain courses that I had, they know the type of attention to detail and the type of attention I give to the people that are on the calls with me. And you're going to get the same thing, even though we're talking about nutrition rather than healing musculoskeletal injuries.
Yeah, and I think it's the 12-week course is whether you are a beginner or you're a nutritionist, you'll be able to go through that and it'll be beneficial to you. The
Yep.
reason why is if you're a nutritionist and you haven't been doing this for 20 to 30 years, well, first, if you have, you might not know the newest information. If you haven't been doing it for 20 to 30 years, quite often I find that they lack the practical experience because what you read in books today is not going to get you there. There's so much
Right.
manipulation, even in the education system. You were talking about Gary Brecka. Yeah, a lot of respect for the guy, and I even listen to him sometimes. And the part about the movement and the fascia, I'm eagerly excited for him to get his hands on that and take it to the next level. Because at the end of it, it's all about stress. And if I'm producing stress hormones from dehydration of my fascia or constriction of movement, then I'm going to have to deal with more of my food, my nutrition, and my hormones.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So basically, right now, people can go to our link in our bio, sign up for the free course. You're going to be there tomorrow night, and then that's a precursor for a 12-week program if people want to go sign up for that. And at
Yep.
the end of that 12-week program, they're going to get a copy of your books. They're going to get the entire 12-week program, all the videos that go along with it, and it will be a constant reference point for them. They can go back, audit those, have discussions about them for a long time because there is way too much information for one person to absorb in 12 weeks. It's something that
Yep.
they'll be able to use on and on. It is basically their nutrition course over time.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Exactly.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. And thank you, Chris, for coming on here. I appreciate you so much for all that you do. And please have that Navy SEAL guy reach out to me. I'd love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Absolutely. He was a lieutenant colonel in the Marines, not a
Sorry.
SEAL.
Yeah, the Marines. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right, brother. Have a great day.
You too, man.
Be well, everybody. Stay blessed.
Bye-bye. I think I think actually when I was talking about this, I just realized I think Lisa, we should probably put a Telegram group up because there's going to be a lot of communication amongst those people that because you're going to have some very senior nutritionists going in there learning about this. You're going to have some beginners going in there, and you will be able to. If you're a beginner, you're not going to get lost. He's going to teach you at levels that you can understand. And because he breaks down the principles, he's not teaching, he's going in and saying, this is how you stack and your understanding. Like, for example, if you still believe it's calories in, calories out, if you still believe in a specific diet style only, and that's the only one you're going to do, whether it's carnivore or vegan, you're going to have a reality check after listening to Chris. And again, there's a lot of opinions out there, and there's a lot of opinions out there about diet. And if you're not working on the physical body, getting it to move, and you're telling me somebody about diet, Because most of those people, we've got problems in their body, and it's all connected. You have to have the balance of experience. So, like I was saying, if you have stress in your body, if you have pain in your body, that automatically fires adrenaline, norepinephrine, and cortisol. Guess what? All your diet advice just went out the window instantaneously. And if you don't know what to do about that in conjunction with the food that you're eating, then you're back to the same old thing. I got a problem. Okay. So I've been struggling how to move with back pain, and it's terrible. Ali Jordan, really simple. Leave this video, go to our website, do the lower reset, then do the upper reset on the barefoot sprinter routine number 2. Get into the 28-day reset. If you're having a body pain, a back pain, a neck pain, we have people with scoliosis that are resolving their own scoliosis by doing this. You do not need me, do not need to talk to me at this point. But once you do use that tool and you get down to why that pain was there, then you're going to need us. Sign up for Chris's program, go to the link on our bio, go to our website, go to events, and you can sign up for the free class. We also have the 31st. We have the New Year's Eve class where we're going to be resetting intention for the new year. It's on the 31st. We will be in there teaching it ourselves. And so that's on the 31st. And we have Chris's class on the 27th. We have the nutrition program itself starting up in January. I think it's the 7th. I think it's on the website. And start and get into that. That's a great way to start your understanding, because if you are not functioning right, if you're in pain, if you're having emotional distress, if you're having perceptual distress, if you're having a disease process right now, there's something that's missing. And that something is based on education. You get all the nutrition going, you get the fascia maneuvers going, then you only have one thing left to deal with, your emotions. And that's where you're really going to find it. But you can't get to those if you're in pain of everything else. Okay. Peter. Thank you, Lisa. It's all on the website. If you're signed up for the newsletter, you'll get it later today as well. Appreciate that. Working to stabilize shoulder after multiple surgeries. First thing is go do the upper reset and the lower reset. There is a head and neck master class and 2. Those are the ones you do daily. The shoulder will naturally stabilize itself. Do the partnered release series, and usually you should be able to get out of that within 3 weeks to a month. It doesn't even matter what it is. Listen, fascia maneuvers work. If you're a month into fascia maneuvers, it's not working, then partner with somebody and do a partner maneuver. If you're doing that and still not working, it's because of almost always chronic dehydration of the fascial tissue. So diatomaceous earth, Irish sea moss, you got to get into those. I tried to bring somebody up. It wasn't working. And we can cut a video of that today for the nutrition course, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Are you doing, yes, we're doing a community 28-day reset starting on January 1st. Go to our link in our bio. There's a new app. There's a whole bunch of new stuff coming. The new app, a lot easier to use. It has threaded conversations. It has the Zooms built right in. If you're in the 28-day reset, you can go to a class almost every day of the week that's guided by a coach with other people in it, free of charge. You can go in for processing, which is emotional processing. You can go and do that. And it's, again, almost every day of the week, and it's around the world in different time zones, free of charge. You have all the help you need. You've got people in the community, and some of those people in the community are doctors, practitioners, sports coaches. Some of them are emotional coaches, light workers, everything you can imagine, they'll help you out. Start with that. We help people who help themselves. I was going to do fascia maneuvers 50 days straight, and then started to experience anxiety related. I need rest day. Yes, absolutely. There is no program of movement that will work every day. And if you're, that means that my brain is saying, I'm going to do this. That's an ego thing. And this is what I got out of, because if my body's not ready to do it and I do it, I'm going to cause more stress. But one thing I encourage you to look at is a couple of things. Number one, laying in a fetal position. Trauma release works really well. Doing the organ reset, you can do every day, multiple times a day. I would do that. It brings down your stress. And instead of the whole fascial maneuver, just stand there and breathe. Counter rotate and counter twist and breathe. That's really powerful because that just calms down your stress. Now where you're not doing an articulated movement. Just looking through here. Yes. If you've attended the free nutrition class that I did, I stepped in for Chris, and I was just I stepped in last minute. Chris was detoxing. This is the actual program that we were talking about. So please, yeah, go to that. What trauma is behind bulimia? You know, if somebody has a metaphysical anatomy book and you want to put in the comments, go to metaphysical anatomy, look up metaphysical reason for bulimia. You're great. Yes, thank you for saying that was great. But Chris, Chris is going to put some. I was there to talk about principles, but Chris is going to put details behind it. This is the actual program itself. Okay, and what trauma? Okay, so looking through here. Wow, and we had a weird start today. I guess it's still like if you're in Canada, this is still Christmas. Yeah, today's Boxing Day. Whatever that means, right? To Americans, what do you? Things come in boxes. You used to put them back and take your gifts back. That was literally it. That was the day. So Boxing Day specials are big here. It's like our Black Friday. Metaphysical anatomy. Hello, Don.
Oh, yay! Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
How you
Where are you calling
doing?
from, Don?
I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina. And Don, so everybody knows, when's your birthday?
It's 2/20/71.
Wow, you're. Do you know? Are you 28th degree Aquarius?
You know, I think I am Pisces. Let's look. I
Not
have
at
my
220.
chart.
I don't think so.
I think I'm a first degree Pisces is my sun sign.
Really? At 220?
February 20th, 71.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it can go from up to 3 days. So you're a 1 degree Pisces. So what have you been going through the last couple of days?
Oh my gosh. Lots of emotions. Yes. Yes. It's been, but I'm processing. I feel better today. I got up and did my breath work and my movements, and I feel a lot better today for sure.
Well,
yeah.
Today's a day where basically, yesterday was basically old things coming up to give us a little trigger.
Yeah. Well,
that was yesterday.
Family. So family always brings up triggers, I think, for the holidays. Yeah.
That's what I was saying earlier is that like one of our community principles, one of our principles we operate on is express how we feel in real time. Because when I don't express how I feel, I don't do it over and over and over and over again. Then I get to someone where I feel safe to express, which is my family, and then I vomit on them emotionally.
Yes, and that's what that's my problem is I vomit and then it explodes and then I shut back down.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to bring it out in little bits because we were talking about, the layers. I have so many layers of just burying things over the years. And it's like, I don't know how to resolve them because nothing changes.
Have you started any of the resets yet?
Yes, I've actually got, I finished the 28-day and I have my lifestyle appointment on the 20th.
Okay, so yeah. So you've gotten the tool. Now the tool starts to reduce the stress. The reason why the layers seem seem like they're not coming out or you're stuck in it is because the stress in the body, when I have a big emotion, then my brain's job is to explain the emotion. And if I can't, if it's my body's in stress, in order to explain an emotion, I have to step outside myself
Yeah.
and observe myself. So if my body's in stress, it can't see the emotion, so it keeps railing it. Then I get another one, another one. And this is why the 28-day takes you outside, so you triangulate basically to your field. You look at your narrative and your emotion, and you go out here. Is that really true? I look at the narrative and emotion, and go, well, actually, I can look at it a different way, and then it goes boom, and it resolves. So you're at the 28-day reset. You're starting to get into that, and that's what we want to show people, the tools to get there. But the Lifestyle Artist program is where you start deep diving into those emotions and patterns.
Awesome. I almost want to do the 28-day again with the new program.
You
setting
can,
up.
you know, absolutely. The new program is, I mean, it's really at the end of it, the Lifestyle Artist program. It's all the learnings in the Lifestyle Artist program, but the movements are just, I mean, the 28-day reset and stuff like that, the movements are all there. It's
Yeah.
just organizing them in a certain way. So the movements in the Lifestyle Artist program aren't specific to the day, where the 28-day reset it is. So feel free to go through the 28-day reset while you're auditing your Lifestyle Artist program. Lifestyle Artist program is basically also, it's not day-based, it's exercise based. So
Okay.
you get I think it's 42 different principles that you work on, and each day and each time you could, sometimes people spend 3 days, a week, or 2 weeks on a single principle. So you could do it all in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or you could do it all over 2 or 3 months or 6 months. It's the idea is that when it's not the 28-day reset, it's time based because you're reducing stress.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
all it is. And staying in that same idea, the process, which is to do something every day to reduce the stress in your body and learn greater how to do it. So go ahead, go do the new one.
Yeah, I love that. I find myself just doing the maneuvers. You know, I'll go in the bathroom 3 minutes. You know,
Yeah.
just breathe and just do a quick reset. I love it.
I do that too when I'm in tough situations. Sometimes you'll see me at events. I'll go around the corner and I'll do an organ reset or something like that.
Yeah. You froze up for just a second.
So what is your moon and what is your rising?
So my moon, Sagittarius.
What degree?
23.
Oh, okay.
And my, like I said, it says my sun sign's Pisces, first degree.
Yeah.
Moon 23, Sagittarius.
What's your ascendant or your rising?
Ascendant is Sagittarius.
What degree?
So 26 degree.
Okay, Capricorn, Sagittarius. So you and I, sorry, still processing something. You and I actually have a lot of similarities in how we approach the world. Wow. Can you do a throat chakra with me?
Absolutely.
Okay. Right hand on your heart, left hand on your throat. Breathe in through your mouth. Two. Three. I'm learning to speak my truth even when it's inconvenient.
I'm learning to speak my truth even when it's inconvenient.
I'm learning to speak the truth from my heart.
I'm learning to speak the truth from my heart.
Breathe in through your nose. Two. Three. Okay. Feel better?
Yes.
Okay. I felt that when we came on, and then I was just choking up a bit too much. So combined with what I'm going through, it was a little too much.
What's interesting is we were on together probably several weeks back, and you did the same thing. it's like everything I was going through and feeling, it was choking you up, and you
Yeah.
had to immediately do the throat and heart release.
So I'm going to say, because I know how consciousness works, that you're actually here for me today.
Mm.
So I'm observing you and what you're doing and what your narrative is and your story and your emotions. And I'm observing those and I'm looking for my clue. That's how I work, because you're a Sagittarius, Gemini in your emotions. I've got Gemini and Sagittarius opposite, which makes you very good, actually. It's a really good balance because you have both ends. You have the adventure, the extreme, but you also have the ability to see your emotions. You can think about it. But you're also a Capricorn, 26 degree, in your rising with your Sagittarius. So I'm a Sagittarius, 29 degree. I'm a 16 degree Capricorn moon. That means that I'm a Sag Cap, and then Pisces is Cynthia, and my son is Pisces, and Aisha is Pisces, and Pisces is literally an energy I am working with. I'm learning from every day.
Yeah. I know. We love to, like, I love working with people, but then I need to be alone. It's like I feel like I get overloaded, and then I have to have my time to process everything, or I get really anxiety, depressed. I really have to work on myself. That's kind of what my journey's been, is I've always been, I feel like, a natural healer. But I didn't work on myself first.
Yeah.
I work on others and I would feel good. And that's what I've loved about Human Garage, is I found you guys probably a year ago. And I've spent the last year just working on myself
Mhm.
and healing all my traumas, and it's been great. It's I can't thank you guys enough.
So
I
what is your
love the
what's your
work.
Chiron?
My Chiron
Yeah.
is 7 degrees Aries.
Okay. Of course, Pisces Aries. So today, Chiron station direct at 15 degrees Aries. Sorry, 15 degrees Aries.
Mhm.
So your whatever you've been going through here, you're letting go of a story, and it's about your loyalty and your commitment somehow, some way, and it could be to yourself or someone around you, but you're breaking free from that, and you're here to learn about it so that you can communicate and share it to others. And um, something happened over the last 2 days for you that's putting you in this position to do that, and that's ending today.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Aries is a tough Chiron. It's probably the toughest of all of them because Aries has this need to be recognized for what you do, and and the recognition isn't there, it can pull up all of these old patterns and beliefs, like I'm not good enough, I don't belong, I don't want to do that, or shame or guilt or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like you picked a good one, as a soul, you picked a good life, because this one is going to teach you a lot.
Yeah, I feel like it has. Yes. Oh, I do have a quick question with a person that I'm working with, has small nerve neuropathy in the feet. What's a good maneuver to recommend, like barefoot scooter?
Yeah, neuropathies, you have to go to hydration and inflammation first, because it's all the nerve goes through fascia and then goes through and around the muscle and stuff like that. So if the fascia is even remotely contracted or dehydrated, when the nerve moves, it doesn't floss properly, and it creates.
Makes
Yeah, and yeah. So that's the first thing. The second thing is look at their astrology. If they're Pisces, if they've got if they've got a lot of Pisces in their chart.
Scorpio.
Scorpio. But also check and see if they got Pisces in their chart, like check their neck.
Yeah.
Because Pisces are feet. The other part too is it's showing you something if they're in your state of awareness right now today. It's showing you something about your feet.
Oh,
So,
nice.
so basically, the way I process working with people, this is what I do, and is I will go, okay, they're showing up for me. So what am I going to learn? What do I need to learn about me and my situation right here? So then I would go on the barefoot sprinter routine number 2 is a really good one because it starts to work on the feet. There's a hand release, but I don't think we have a foot release. Actually, video now I think of it. You do the same thing as the hand release on the foot release. And so you do the barefoot sprinter routine with that. And then they've got to do lower reset. They've got to do the hips and stuff like that. That'll start to open the flow because if you got pressure in your feet, you got pressure in your hands, and you also got pressure in the jaw. So then the next thing I would do is I would generally say hydrate the body, lower reset barefoot sprinter routine number 2 one day, upper reset barefoot sprinter routine number 2. Because what it is that neuropathy, you don't know exactly why it's there. And if you had contraction through here or contraction through here, that can cause the feet to tense, causing a neuropathy on addition to it. So I would do all of those and have a broad range for them and get them with the supplements, get them hydrated.
I'm trying to educate myself more on, and this is the beautiful part of the journey is everyone I meet. I do work in I work in a chiropractic office a few days a week.
Sure.
So I'm dealing with people in pain bodies, but I'm always saying, go to Human Garage, just to get them started on the path to educate themselves. But I want to be able to educate people on the diatomaceous earth and the sea moss, how important it is to, because when you look at people and say dehydrated fascia, it's like they look at you like you're foreign.
Yeah, you can DM us and ask about dehydrated fascia. There's actually an article that we can send you that just talks about why, and it's like a couple paragraphs, so they can send you a link to it. And then that way, just give you a bit more tools. And feel free to ask questions in the chat, in the Instagram. We're going to have that up on the website soon. Actually, I think it is on the website. So I think it goes to one place. So what we're doing is we're building a database so people can educate themselves because fascial maneuvers is a new way of thinking. So even if somebody's a good practitioner and they're starting to think like this, they have to convert that thought process, which takes some time.
Yeah, because everybody's like, oh, I drink water, I hydrate. And then I just freeze because I'm like, I want to educate myself enough to.
Okay, so here's what you said. The number one cause of chronic dehydration is the overconsumption of water. Here are the reasons why. We're drinking water. Most of the time, we don't drink tap water. We shouldn't drink tap water because it's got chemicals in it and pharmaceuticals. We drink filtered water. Filtered water most often is demineralized. Water goes over a rock and it erodes the rock, so it takes minerals away so that you can absorb it. When you take the minerals out of the water, then and you drink it, you take the minerals out of you. The body needs minerals and elements in order to hydrate. Right now, because of pollution in the sky, pollution in the food and the clothing and stuff like that, we don't have silica anymore. Without silica, we don't absorb the minerals. Without the minerals, we can't hold the water. So we drink water in, and it actually dehydrates us on the way out. So drinking more water is the number one cause of dehydration.
Isn't that crazy? I love it, though.
It's not about what you drink, it's about what you keep.
Okay. Ooh, I like that. It's not about what you drink, it's what you keep.
Yeah, without the proper elements and minerals, without silica, and right now, today, you can't live in most parts of this world without taking some sort of a silica exogenously. And usually, if people take silica and Irish sea moss, they can stop taking almost all the other vitamins that they take over time.
Is the diatomaceous earth that's got silica in it?
80% silica.
Okay.
You can still get silica from horsetail.
Mm,
I've tried liquid silica and bamboo and stuff like that. Hasn't worked out very well
yeah,
in my experience. I don't, maybe there's something to it, but diatomaceous earth, other reason why is it has diatoms, and the diatoms exfoliate your small intestines, so they clean it
yeah.
out.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm at this point. It's like I crave it. It's my first drink of the day every. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. It becomes a craving. It's like it's weird because it's powder and water. It doesn't think that it
Mm,
would, but it tastes good. The other thing is the sea moss. And when people are making sea moss, the version up here, survival moss, they can get it from ordered. But when I make it myself, what they do is they put fascial sweet in it, which is our sweetener. They put cinnamon, and sometimes some maple syrup. Cinnamon really takes Irish sea moss, makes it taste like applesauce. It's really,
mm.
really good.
Like the Ceylon cinnamon. Mm,
Yeah, yeah.
nice.
And
Take it to another one. I love it.
so what do you do in the chiropractor's office specifically?
I just do therapy on patients, and what's crazy is I've been doing so many of the fascial maneuvers. It's like they'll have frozen shoulder, and I'm like, I'm getting them to torque their elbow. I'm getting them to move. But I just I do breath work with them,
Yeah,
get them to relax,
yeah,
and little cranial sacral work
sure.
sometimes. And and then I have like clients on my own outside of the clinic that, I don't
Mm.
really advertise, but people are drawn to me. And I feel like if someone's put in front of me for a reason, it just comes organic and naturally for me.
What's your
Um,
Saturn by chance?
let's see. I'm learning this. I did sign up for Serious Joy. My Saturn is 16 degrees Taurus.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So basically, you are here to learn how to spiritually manifest. And 16 is net 7, so that's Pisces Taurus. So you have a lot of mastery in your chart, and you came into a baby Pisces state of awareness. So that means that you have all this mastery is trying to get through, and that's why you feel like I can't get it out sometimes. Like I feel like I should know the answer, but
Yes, I feel that.
well, that's your journey. I mean,
Yeah.
your journey is to just, it's not about the knowledge, it's to connect your intuition. And so it's about, oh, one last question. What's your Neptune?
My Neptune is 3 degrees Sagittarius.
Whoa, there it is. Grandmaster Sagittarius. So basically, you're learning to believe yourself, your intuition. So this whole thing is, it's not about more knowledge for you. It's about using knowledge to confirm your intuition rather than learning knowledge to purport knowledge. You're a grandmaster in your intuition's as you're a grandmaster in Sagittarius. 3 degrees is. So that's about your intuition is leading you to always be also a student and a teacher, and
Mm,
and your intuition sometimes you'll be challenged with belief and worry, like
mm,
is that the right thing? So really focus on trusting your intuition. The reason why you're here today is your Aries is wants the rules, wants all the structure, but you're born with all this Pisces and all this Sagittarius. You're meant to have intuition and belief. So that's why the Aries is opposing. So it's super, you're meant to help people. And because this is the biggest thing that people are going through right now. They are so stuck up on science and what the world says and what the patterns are. And because of that, they have lost the primary mechanism of healing in the body, which is belief.
yeah. That's you spoke on this other, and this is what I'm challenged with, like the people in my office right now, the Gary Brecka thing.
Yeah.
Like, because um my response back to them was, if you can teach the body to relax through breath and movement and the integration, CMOS, diatomaceous earth, you know, they were confusing me on that you have to get this blood panel workup. Your genes aren't turning on. What you do is not for everybody.
So let,
Um,
let me let me give you a, straight path to this, because I have a lot of respect for him. your genes are affected by your genetics, are affected by epigenetics or stress, the environment. The greatest stressor on your body is emotions that are dysregulated.
Okay.
Some of the greatest stressors of dysregulated of emotions are dehydration and hormonal. So like I have problems in my hormones, my thoughts, my feelings. It causes me stress in my body, and then my hormones go, and then once my hormones go, it puts a stressor onto my genes, and it dysregulates my genetic profile. So we have to start at what you're doing is breath work. But if the body's dehydrated, all the breath work in the world ain't going to work.
Okay.
Because hydration is bringing the water into the tissue. And if the tissue is contracted from dehydration, you're not going to get the breath in there. So the greatest stressor, the greatest impact on genes is stress.
Yes. So if they do the hydration, the breath work, and de-stress the body, then go do another blood panel and see if it changes, right?
It changes automatically because what happens is, well, your blood panel is not going to change super quick, but if you did that for 30 days,
Yeah.
your blood panel changes for sure. And the reason why is because if you're going in and getting a blood panel and you're stressed out and you've been stressed out, you're not going to digest and process properly. You're not going to absorb nutrients properly. Your hormones are going to misfire. Your body has to do extra work to do this. And this is the part of the science of medicine that people just aren't getting.
Yeah.
And we have so much examples of this. If you just get people hydrated and you get them out of stress 2 to 3 times per day, their biology and their blood work and their tests change. And we have examples of this. I mean, we have like literally hundreds of thousands of examples now.
Yeah.
So it's not even a question anymore. And we're at the stage now where science gets to explain why what we do works, which is really, really nice. We don't have to prove it anymore. The proof is already, people are all over the world are changing.
Absolutely. I love just being a light to everybody and just getting them excited to live and want to heal themselves.
Well, listen, you're doing all the right things. Stay in there. We'll see you in the Lifestyle Artist program.
I'm excited.
And yeah, it's going to be a change for you. And you're going to learn a lot, but it's trusting your intuition, okay? You don't need more knowledge. You're already smart enough.
Thank you.
Bye, Don.
I'm Mary.
How many ounces of water do you recommend on a daily basis? Again, I don't recommend that you drink a specific amount of water. I recommend that you have proper minerals so that the water you drink stays in. I purposely, myself, I drink two cups of water a day probably, and that's it. I'm super hydrated, super elastic. My body works really well. But I also have a high base of mineral contents, and I eat lots of water. So eating water is better. Structured water is going to make a difference. Okay, can mud jugs get silica back in our drinking water? Might. I don't know. You need silica. So like right now, natural forms of trying to bring silica in your body aren't going to work too well. Okay, everybody, we've gone a little bit over here. It was a great conversation. Thank you all. We will see you tomorrow for Raw Reality. And then we have a special guest coming on Thursday. It's going to be unbelievable Thursday, but tomorrow, Raw Reality. And if you haven't done it yet, go sign up for the free nutrition class tomorrow. It's on our website. Go do it right away. If you haven't done it yet, sign up for the 31st class. We're going to be getting everybody ready with your New Year's resolutions. We are going to be setting it up so that you are going into your New Year resolution right. Everybody's like, I'm going to make my New Year's resolution, but my body feels like shit. I feel like shit. So we're going to be doing it the night before or the day before so that you go into New Year's in the proper state of mind. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you later on this week. Take care.